First off, let me clarify some things from my first post. I was a wildland firefighter up until a year ago, when I decided I needed a change of pace. They weren't FBI agents. They said they were from a private company that deals with the otherworldly. I sat in front of the two men, waiting for them to start asking questions. So, do you know why I've been assigned to this case? The taller of the two said. You're the only one in the park who knows anything about this. I nodded. Thomas also knows, but I think you guys already know that. It's pretty weird. The town you described doesn't exist, not according to the GPS and satellite data. Yes, it does, I answered, surprised. It's a lie, the second man said. He had short blonde hair and wore glasses. We checked every single point on the map, every house, every business. There is nothing there. That is not true. You can't tell me you've been everywhere in the park and haven't noticed it, I said angrily. When I first came to the park, I saw the sign for Hungry Horse. I thought it was a joke at first, but then I saw the motel, the gas station, the diner, the hardware store, and I saw the people inside them. The man with the glasses nodded slowly. But we've checked every inch of the surrounding area. We've looked at aerial photos, satellite images. We've even flown over the valley with a helicopter. Well, maybe you should have a look again. Maybe you missed something, I said defiantly. We did. There's nothing there. It's not possible. Do I have to show you where it is myself? I asked. Both men exchanged glances. Then the shorter one nodded. Very well. If you're so sure you've seen something unusual, we'll take you there. Thank you, I said. I got out of my chair and followed the two men out of the cabin. They were in their early 50s, both with short hair and blue eyes. They were talking quietly to each other as I followed them out of the cabin to their unmarked car. Now, the man with the glasses said, if you could just lead us to your town. Sure, I replied. We drove deeper into the park. Our vehicle was equipped with a topographical GPS system, which made it easy to navigate through the rugged terrain. After an hour of driving, we came to a hill overlooking a wide valley. We passed the sign for Hungry Horse. Did you see the sign? I yelled. The men just looked at each other. I'm sorry, what? The shorter one asked. There's a sign here. It says, Hungry Horse, right? The man shook his head. I don't see anything. He pulled off the road and stopped right before the sign. He turned off the engine and looked at me. Maybe we should get out and look again, he suggested. I agreed. I got out of the car and ran over to the sign. It's right here, I shouted. He walked up behind me and looked over my shoulder. What even is this? It's a sign. It says Hungry Horse, I yelled. He looked at me and glared. I grabbed his arm and pulled him over to where I could see the sign. Can't you read? He pulled away and rolled his eyes. Read what? It says Hungry Horse, I yelled. What are you talking about? He yelled back. I pointed at the sign. Look, the name of the town. The man sighed. There's no sign there. I got angry and was about to yell at the agent when out of the corner of my eye I saw someone walking towards us from out of the woods in the direction of the town. It was Irene, the older woman from the hardware store. My eyes lit up and I pointed at her. Irene, I yelled excitedly. The agent turned to face the old woman. His eyes widened in surprise, and he opened his mouth to say something, but before he could, Irene hit him and sent him flying into a tree. You shouldn't have come back, Ranger, she hissed. With lightning speed, she charged the agent with the glasses. Run! I yelled and jumped into the car. It was too late for the agent. Irene had already snapped his neck. I frantically ran back to the unmarked car and tried to start it. The engine sputtered and failed to turn over. Irene stood directly in front of me, blocking my path back to the cabin. What even are you? I yelled. You should have never come here, she said. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into. What is going on? I yelled. She snarled and lunged forward. Her teeth had grown sharp and she snapped at me, but I evaded her bite and rammed my fist into her stomach. God damn it! I yelled. I grabbed her shoulders and threw her into the side of the car. She slid across the hood and fell to the ground. I jumped around the car and kicked her once in the ribs. You are not getting out of here alive, I said. She smiled. I've been dead for years, honey. I was about to punch her again when a hand grabbed my arm and yanked me backwards. I spun around and stared at the person who grabbed my arm. It was Thomas, my partner. He had followed the agents, and I. "What the hell are you doing?" I yelled. "Don't be stupid! We have to get back to the cabin." I looked at him and shook my head. "No, we can't run from these things," I said, flabbergasted. "What is wrong with you?" He slapped me hard across the face. "Stop talking! Stop talking, please!" I rubbed my cheek and looked at Thomas in disbelief. "What are you talking about?" His eyes were wide open with panic. I heard Irene starting to get up. "You have to leave now. Right now." He grabbed me by the collar and pushed me into the driver's seat of the dead agent's car. "Get in!" he yelled. "And drive!" "What about you?" I asked. "I can't fight them anymore." "You know how many rangers they've taken?" he said. "Just get out of here." "We just found out about the town yesterday." "How do you know this?" I yelled. "You just found out about the town," he replied. "What does that even mean?" "Just go. I'll keep Irene occupied. Get back to the cabin and read my journal." "I don't believe this." He nodded. "I know." I pulled a 180 and sped back down the road towards the cabin. I saw Thomas jump on Irene in the rearview mirror. He looked bigger than he usually does. He was standing on top of her, pinning her arms to the ground. "Screw you!" Irene yelled. Thomas punched her in the face and she went limp. "Stay down, you monster!" The last thing I saw was Thomas running towards the town. I'm back at the cabin and reading through his journal. There's so much I never knew about him. But amid these discoveries, pressing questions linger in the air. What is really going on in Hungry Horse? What does Thomas know that he is protecting with his life? I feel an irresistible urge to find out the truth, to unravel the mysteries that seem to shroud this remote park. What is the connection between Irene, Thomas, and the invisible city that does not appear on maps? Part 2 of our adventure will dig deeper into the unknown, so watch on soon to unravel the secrets. And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go, are there popular park ranger stories out there you'd want us to look at? Don't hesitate to let us know in the comments section. You can also send us strange and unexplainable stories you may have recorded or witnessed yourself. Just forward them to astrogaze@gmail.com. We'll upload it in our next episode and give you the credit unless you want to remain anonymous. We can't wait to receive your stories. Like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to share the videos with your friends and family. See you in the next one.